Very good morning, everybody, for Sunday, 19th of September. So, a rather confusing picture, and once or twice a year or so, you get a synoptic chart like this, and you look out the window and go, why isn't it looking rubbish? And at the moment, I'm trying to pin that down. Overnight, cold front, although really it's an occlusion to the south and a warm to the north, starting to track over us. More of a cloud feature than anything else as it tracks across. And as it goes past, you'll see that another front sort of butts up against it. And we get into this sort of weird gap where not much seems to be happening. It talks about rain, talks about even cloud base going up significantly and destabilizing a lot, and potentially even the forecast of some sunshine. So yeah, the problem really is today is a lot of variables, and when that does happen, it makes it very difficult to actually forecast what's going to happen within the next couple of hours, let alone the next 30 minutes or so. As we look into the week, high pressure sets up in the Azores, and we start to see a more settled picture for the start of the week. And in fact, that remains for quite a lot until about sort of Wednesday or Thursday, where it really does go downhill. But for today, sort of variable, I would say. We could end up getting a significant amount of flying done today, or we could end up that we get an hour and that's it. So yeah, very, very tricky when it's one of these sorts of days. The winds on the ground, though, are not going to be too much of a factor, with those ice bars sort of pointing from a northwesterly direction, 310 to northerly at 5 knots or so, and that's broadly the same as what we've got on here. Notice that there we are, we've got that rain, and there is a yellow warning for rain out this afternoon, but notice that there is no rain on the forecast. So, yeah, so make what you want of that. Cloud base going up through the day, according to this, although it should be starting off low and misty at the moment, but I look outside, that's not what the case is currently. Satellite picture shows this. That's one of the cold fronts directly over the top of us at the moment. Much better out to the west, and if we see that air mass come through from the west, it'll probably be quite nice. Out to our east, a lot cloudier as that front advances. Top temperature today in the sunshine about 19 degrees. Dew point of about 11. If we got into the colder air, then that would drop even further. At the moment at Lasham, we have a temperature of 14 and a dew point of 12. And there we go, that's the picture outside, which, as you can see, yes, it's overcast, but it's overcast quite high. And if we look at the latest forecast from Farnborough, they say scattered at 500. Odium haven't updated yet. And Southampton says scattered at 3,200. Yet in their TAF, they say has broken 1,000 around this time. So quite confusing, really. You really want some clarity on what's going to happen. And unfortunately, I can't provide that to you. Top Meteo, if you were to believe their model, would suggest that at the moment we would have significant cloud cover over us at the moment. It would be misty fog, which it isn't. Clearing as the day goes on, getting better from the west. And it's really that clearance in the west, which if we get into that, will make the day a lot better. Let's say if we get to sort of 2 o'clock or so, 3 o'clock, if that front has advanced enough, then we'll probably see some soaring conditions from the west up to sort of 3,000 feet or so, not much higher than that, and only a very short window. But the opportunity is there, that's for sure. And cloud amounts, as you can see, the front in this has cleared. You can see that dark line, which indicates at the front where that is, and it then clears, a bit of sunshine, and we get cumulus in that more unstable air. Site forecast showing fairly similar, sort of fairly poor initially, and then clearing up, maybe some rain. And let's just have a look at where that rain is currently, because that really does tell us a story. They're more sort of showers than anything else, and that's what makes it so hard to forecast. For because as we look on the webcams, you'll be able to see to the south these darker areas where there are showers. And if I look here, this is real time now, looking towards the Black Hanger. That's probably picking up this shower just south of Petersfield. But again, they're not really amounting to much. Okay, they've built up a little bit of more power there, but yeah, it really is a bit odd that this is not a bit more defined. So yeah, a slightly weaker front than probably it was first imagined. So yes, all a bit confusing, and we'll try and get to the bottom of it. Okay, NOTAMs, still a display, not a display, an Isle of Wight music festival going on the Isle of Wight. That's until midday today. Clearly, maybe it's just to rest their sore heads that they have that this morning. Displays at Goodwood's Revival. That's between that is 7:30 through till 8 o'clock tonight. That's Goodwood Revival. So the airfield will be very busy down there. Goodwood ATZ's active a bit longer today as well. Usual gliding at Middle Wallop, usual Boscombe, NOTAMs. A fly past at Bovington down in the southwest corner of the Bournemouth zone. Lulworth danger area is active this evening. 21 and 20. Tilford towards Guildford, there's a fly past between 2 and 5. Chequers has did at least have a restricted area temporary around it for some ministerial event. I'll just check it's on my one. But in the meantime, 30. No, that's not relevant. Gliding at Abingdon is likely. Nope, actually it doesn't look like that event is going on any longer at Chequers. And 31, 32. Bit of paramotoring and a fly past at Gloucester. So not particularly anything significant in our area, other than that is already mentioned, usual Farnborough hours at weekends. Okay, well, based on the wind, it will be 2-7 that will be on today. Yeah, let's just see what happens. It's going to be an interesting one, but don't blame me if it goes downhill. Forecast and the weather warning does make sense. As you can see there, if we were to believe that, then we're going to get a downpour at some point today in the afternoon. But yeah, we'll see what happens and we'll compare how it is tomorrow. Bye for now.